Hello everyone. In this video, I shall discuss the various components I had mentioned in my previous video about database and research methodology. In database and research methodology, we cover several components such as scale development, universe of the study, and sample selection. These are all the part of the database and research methodology, and I had discussed that database and research methodology comprises of the scale development, the universe of the study, and sample selection in the video that I had covered on the elements and structure of a research paper. So now in a series of video I am discussing the various components, how to write the various components. In database and research methodology, you need to mention how you develop the scale, what was the universe of the study, and what was how you selected the sample and what was the sample. So in this video, I shall be talking about scale development. Before I talk about scale development, I would like to tell you to please like, share and subscribe for further videos so as to make your research easier. So scale development. In scale development, what we do is a scale was developed to find out the objective of the study. So for example, my scale is, I want to say I want to develop a scale in order to know why did women suffer more than men during COVID-19. So in order to develop the scale, I would read certain studies and I would develop the scale on the basis of relevant review of literature. And I would quote, a scale was developed to find out why did women suffer more in COVID as compared to men, or I would say the gender differences in suffering for men and women in COVID-19. And I would write items for the scale were framed in my database and research methodology. I would write items for the scale were framed on the basis of relevant review of literature, and I would quote my articles in brackets, those on which I have based my study. It may be a few articles, it may be all the articles you've reviewed, so it depends upon whether you've picked up the items from a particular scale, or you've picked up items, or you framed the items based upon review of literature on the understanding of the concept. So there may be ready-made items available. You can pick up the entire ready-made scale and you need not test it for validity, because it is already a valid scale. If you're developing your own scale, as in this case of this study, you may pick up items from certain scales, but then you will have to go in for the validation of the scale. You have to check the content validity as well as the other types of validity, whether it is convergent validity or discriminant validity. I'll be talking about that in my later video series. So in this scale development, I shall jot down the papers on which my items are based, and I would gather items from various studies and then compile them to develop my scale. The testing of the scale or validation of the scale would be done, but at this stage, to develop the scale, I would jot down the studies from which I have picked up the items. I would also pick up certain items. I can also frame certain items on my own based upon the relevant review of literature. So I would then write in all 28 statements or 38 statements, whatever is the number of statements I've developed for a particular study. I would write it in the part of my database and research methodology. So this is how you write about the scale development. I would discuss in detail about scale development and the techniques, and how you, once you've developed the scale from various sources, how to validate it. I would also discuss about that. I've written various papers on those, so I would tell you that also. In my next video, I would also cover the component covered in database and research methodology, that is universe of the study, and how do we what is meant by the universe of the study, and how do we go in for the sample selection. So that is for now. I hope the video was useful to you. Thanks for now. Thanks for watching.